So in the last couple of videos, it's been kind of looking at this concept of this big, hairy, ambitious goal, essentially setting this vision that we have for our life and aligning ourselves on our purpose. But something that a lot of people come to me and ask is, so how is it you first identify what it is that your vision, your purpose actually is? And there's a couple of exercises that you can do around this. I particularly employ journaling to basically explore this a little bit more. And what it's doing is beginning to kind of ask the questions about what it is that you thoroughly enjoy. What is it that you can talk to somebody for 20, 30 minutes non-stop, passionately about? I think it's a good place to start by exploring that particular area there. Because if you're that passionate about something that you can speak about it non-stop for that period of time, then that, chances are, is what you would love to be doing as your main thing in life and your goal. Now, from there, it becomes a little bit more interesting, because this is where you're starting to, as we talked about in one of the earlier videos, about kind of breaking this down into the steps to then go and achieve that. So let's say, for instance, that your passion is in mindfulness, in teaching people about mindfulness practices, and that you can go and speak to somebody for 20, 30 minutes non-stop about mindfulness practices, the benefits of them, and so on. Well, to break that down, you might think that your big, hairy, ambitious goal is that you want to reach 1 million people, that you want to teach mindfulness to 1 million people throughout your life, which is a fantastic goal. But then to break that down, you then may say, okay, so what are the steps that I need to take to make that happen? You could start off at the bottom and say, right, okay, am I actually a trained teacher? Do I know what I'm doing here? Do I need to go and get a potential certification here to give me the confidence and the experience, as well as those that I work with, the assurance that what they're getting is somebody who basically knows what they're doing in this space? So then the next part may be, okay, we've got this goal of this teaching mindfulness to 1 million people. How is it we're going to break that down into those sizable chunks that we previously spoke about? And, this may be that you say, by the end of this month, I want to have taught to 10 people. Something that is really small, bite-sized, incredibly achievable. And, you might look at that and think, well, the thing is, that's an absolute doddle. I'm going to nail that one. But it actually serves another purpose. And the other purpose is the motivation to keep on going. Because if you set the goal in month 1 to say that you're going to teach to 100 people or 1,000 people, what do you think would happen in your mind if you didn't actually achieve that? If you, say, did half of the number or a quarter? It'll start chipping away and going, well, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe it's not something that I should be doing. Maybe I should look somewhere else. Whereas if we're starting small, and with those small victories, we're building confidence, we're building experience to then go off and essentially achieve that bigger goal. So then those 10 people that we've taught to in the first month, they may become 20 in the second month. By the end of the year, they may become 1,000. By the end of 3 years, they may become 10,000. Or however incremental you want your goals to be. So I think the key message of this video is, firstly, try to figure out what it is that you're passionate about by maybe doing some journaling techniques, by asking yourself what you could passionately speak to somebody about for 20, 30 minutes non-stop. Writing these down is key. Getting down into a journal and exploring these is very, very important. It allows you to sit back after you've done it and go ahead and reflect, kind of read them out loud to yourself, just kind of understand a little bit more as to where you was going. And then the next part is, as we'd previously touched upon, is kind of breaking that goal down a little bit. But instead of kind of starting off at that top end like we did with the marathon example, of breaking the marathon down into the half marathon, into the 10K, into the 5K. Work bottom up. So you've got your target, million people. Let's start with 10. Something highly, highly achievable. And then just go from there and see what happens. And most importantly, it's your passion. So have fun. Enjoy.